Latin 2, chapter 48, exercise J. This is page 236. It is Martial, the poet, who is apparently a friend of Euclides. And he's talking all about, or he's someone Euclides admires at least. He's talking all about his favorite wrestler, his favorite gladiator. So it's like if Ta-Nehisi Coates decided to write a poem about Kofi Kingston. What's nice about this is that each line has its own meaning. You don't have to go any further to catch the meaning of that. He often would write in elegiac couplets where it would be every two lines had their own meanings. That was also kind of fun. But here we go. He is writing an ode to a wrestler. I think maybe he was just taking in some publicity work. I don't know. Hermes, the delight of the Martian age. Hermes, most educated in all weapons. Hermes, both master and gladiator, or teacher and gladiator. Hermes, the confusion and the fear of his school. Gladiators were taught at a school, by the way. This is where the Spartan revolt started, because if you train slaves brutally to use swords, they'll use them. Now we're on line 5. Hermes, whom Helios fears, but the only one. So, Randy Orton, the only one who ever beat John Cena in an I Quit match. It's that kind of thing. By the way, Randy Orton didn't beat him in an I Quit match. Hermes, to whom Adwolans falls, but the only one. So it's, like, hey, look, this is Goldberg, and Brock Lesnar beat him. Hermes, taught to conquer but not to kill. Hermes, himself his only substitute. Hermes, the wealth of the scalpers. Scalpers are people who sell tickets after they bought up all the tickets. So the idea is if you hear Hermes is going to go, you're going to probably go buy a seat no matter how much it costs. Hermes, the love and the heartthrob of the female slaves, which is basically the sex slaves. Hermes, proud with his warlike spear, or proud posing in a hostile manner with his spear. Hermes, with his swooping helmet and his sea trident, or with his menacing sea trident and his, it's just his sea trident because the swooping helmet comes next. Hermes, the man to be feared with his swooping helmet. Hermes, the glory of Mars, of every kind of combat, every kind of martial application. And then Hermes, alone at everything, which means like the best at everything, and 3 times 1. So he's not only a great fighter with the sword, but also a trident, and also with this thing. So there you go. 15 lines about Hermes. So that's 48J. Get out the red pen. Feel free to correct it as you need. Kick it back to me if you want an email, and I'm more than happy to give you some feedback. When we get back, it will be Androcles and the Lion, which is just a really, really fun story. And I really miss getting to read this out loud with you guys, because this was one of my favorite stories to read in class. So anyway, I'm going to hit the button.